obviously you started this sanctuary. Do you have since you started, do you have a favorite story that you brought an animal in?
Well, there's interesting, I have so many great stories. Our most recent rescue was from a lady. Her name was Mary Jo and her husband Vernis. They're cattle ranchers up in Huntsville, Texas, and they surrendered Grace and Randy, and also most recently, a little bit, and her baby Savannah. And those animals would have gone to slaughter had it not been for this surrender. And it just always brings me great joy when I'm able to interact with cattle ranchers, because I don't expect them to change on the spot. I didn't. But what we got to do as activists is not expect people to change on the spot, especially people like cattle ranchers. It took me 6 years, even when I had as much feeling as I could possibly have for these animals, I didn't just change. I mean, that kind of change means uprooting a belief system that's grounded in, tradition for a long, long time. You don't just uproot that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, them, and then there was Buster. Buster was also surrendered by a cattle rancher. And I think probably the most interesting rescue was Betty and Veronica, because Veronica, unbeknownst to us, was pregnant with a baby that we named Samson. And Betty and Veronica had jumped off of a slaughter truck on their way to the slaughterhouse in Kansas. And a big deal ensued. The media was there, helicopters, doing all this. So Betty and Veronica got a name because the news media got on it. So some local activists contacted me. They named them Betty and Veronica, and said, if we could figure out a way to buy them from the sale barn, because they went to a sale barn. They were apprehended and they went to the sale barn anyway. After they jumped off that slaughterhouse truck on the highway, they were apprehended and taken to a sale barn. And this guy, his name was Ryan, he said, if I'm able to get them, can you take them? Nobody in Kansas would take them. No sanctuary would touch it, because so many activists, and I understand why. If there's any dealings with animal ag and you have to buy an animal, then it's like, no, we're not going to touch that, because if you buy an animal, then you're contributing to the problem. Well, that's a very gray area. It's not always true. And to just be black or white about that, if it was black or white, I wouldn't be here, because I bought my husband's herd. And the only way I will be a part of bringing an animal into our world, if it's a bought animal, is if their story will make them ambassadors for the rest of their life.